Alright, it's been 10 minutes. I think we can start reading. Let's see. I have, drumroll please, 16 poems. My God. Why do I do this to myself? Why do I do this to other people? Does my sadism have no limits? Probably. Okay. But they are short poems, they are long poems. Some of them are nonsense, some of them rhyme, some of them don't. But hopefully they're nice ones. So I think we're going to start with the very short ones that I have here from James Joyce, from his chamber music collection, which is not in fact chamber music, it's just called chamber music. I think I'm going to read... I think I'm going to read number 1 and number 2. I think that'll do. Alright. No, they're not properly titled. Okay. Alright. So, 1. Strings in the earth and air make music sweet. Strings by the river where the willows meet. There's music along the river, for love wanders there. Pale flowers on his mantle, dark leaves on his hair. All softly playing, with head to the music bent, and fingers straying upon an instrument. And number 2. The twilight turns from amethyst to deep and deeper blue. The lamp fills with a pale green glow the trees of the avenue. The old piano plays an air, sedate and slow and gay. She bends upon the yellow keys, her head inclines this way. Shy thought and grave wide eyes and hands that wander as they list. The twilight turns to darker blue, with lights of amethyst. I definitely like that one. I should save that one. I say as if I do not have it here in my tabs. What do we have next? I have so many poems by Emily Dickinson. I have so many poems by Emily Dickinson. Why did I do this? Alright. Let's start with a short one. And a drink of water. So this is almost within my reach. I could have touched. I might have chanced that way. Soft sauntered through the village, sauntered as soft away. So unsuspected violets within the fields lie low, too late for striving fingers that passed an hour ago. No, I told you it was short. That's a longer one. How about you? Yeah, that'll do. So this is still Emily Dickinson from her second series, Melodies Unheard. Musicians wrestle everywhere, all day among the crowded air. I hear the silver strife, and, walking long before the dawn, such transport breaks upon the town. I think it that new life. It is not bird, it has no nest, nor band in brass and scarlet dressed, nor tambourine nor man. It is not him from pulpit read, the morning stars the treble led, on time's first afternoon. Some say it is the spears at play, some say that bright majority of vanished dames and men. Some think it's service in the place where we with late celestial face, please God, shall ascertain. I can never get the cadence of her things as right as I want to. I actually used to do slam poetry years and years and years ago. Like back when dinosaurs roamed the earth and things, and I am desperately out of practice. Let's try another one, a longer one, with the proper stanzas. In a Library by Emily Dickinson. A precious mouldering pleasure 'tis to meet an antique book in just the dress his century wore, a privilege, I think. His venerable hand to take, and warming in our own, a passage back or two to make, to times when he was young. His quaint opinions to inspect, his knowledge to unfold, on what concerns our mutual mind, the literature of old. What interested scholars most, what competitions ran, when Plato was a certainty, and Sophocles a man, when Sappho was a living girl, and Beatrice wore that gown that Dante defiled. Facts, centuries before, he traverses familiar, as one should come to town and tell you all your dreams were true. He lived where dreams were sown. His presence is enchantment. You beg him not to go. Old volumes shake their vellum heads and tantalize, just so. Okay, I officially like Dickinson. Fine, I admit it. Let's take another drink. Let's take another drink. All right. I've got a challenging one here from T.S. Eliot. It's his Lune de Miel, his honeymoon poem, which is in French. I don't speak French. I don't speak any French. I'm relatively confident that I can pronounce some of this, but I could translate it via Google into English, and then we'd be getting T.S. Eliot via Google Translate, which is an incredible thing to think about. And I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest. But we can try. I say let's try in French first, and if I mess it up horribly, then we'll go ahead and we'll try it in the English. Lune de Miel by T.S. Eliot. Ils ont vu les papas irritant au terreau, mais une nuit d'été la voix à ravine. Oh God, no. Oh God, no. Why don't you use consonants? French, what is wrong with you? You sound so incredibly sexy, but speaking you is like gargling shaving cream. It's the worst thing. No, we're doing this in English. Okay, let's try again in English. Yeah. Ill saw the Netherlands. They returned to Terre Haute. But one summer night, here they are in Ravenna, comfortable between two sheets, with 200 bedbugs, summer sweat, and a strong smell of dog. They stay on their backs, spreading their knees, 4 soft legs swollen with bites. We raise the sheet to better scratch. Less than a league from here is Saint Apollinaire. In classe, a basilica known to amateurs, acanthus capitals whirling in the wind. They will take the 8 o'clock train, extending their miseries from Padua to Milan, where is the Last Supper, a cheap restaurant. He thinks of tips and writes his balance sheets. They will have seen Switzerland and crossed France, and St. Apollinaire, steep and ascetic, old abandoned factory of gods still stands, in its collapsing stones, the precise form of Byzantium. I feel like that definitely flows better in French. Oh, I have Keats. That's right, I forgot that I had Keats. Keats is lovely. It's a little long, but we can manage some Keats, I think. To autumn. Season of mists and mellow fruitfulness, close bosom friend of the maturing sun, conspiring with him how to load and bless with fruit the vines that round the thatch eaves run, to bend with apples the mossed cottage trees, and fill all fruit with ripeness to the core, to swell the ground and plump the hazel shells with a sweet kernel, to set budding more, and still more, later flowers for the bees, until they think warm days will never cease, for summer has o'erbrimmed their clammy cells. Who hath not seen oft amid thy store? Sometimes whoever seeks abroad may find thee sitting careless on a granary floor, thy hair soft lifted by the winnowing wind, or in half-reaped furrow sound asleep, drowsed with the fume of poppies, while thy hook spares the next swath and all its twined flowers. And sometimes like a gleaner thou dost keep steady thy laden head across a brook, or by a cider press, with patient luck, thou watchest the last oozings, hours by hours. Where are the songs of spring? Yea, where are they? Think not of them, thou hast thy music too, while barred clouds bloom the soft dying day, and touch the stubble plains with rosy hue. Then in a wailful choir the small gnats mourn, among the river sallows borne aloft or sinking as the light wind lives or dies. And full-grown lambs loud bleat from hilly bourne, hedge crickets sing, and now with treble soft the redbreast whistles from a garden croft, and gathering swallows twitter in the skies. That's some very, very good imagery right there. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. I should have gotten more Keats, is what I should have done. I can find more later if I want. Let's read a classic, why don't we? Let's do a Jabberwocky. Yeah, Jabberwocky. It's by, of course, Lewis Carroll, the former priest and super duper high guy who wrote Alice in Wonderland. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mumeraths outgrabe. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jubjub bird, and shun the frumious Bandersnatch. He took his Vorpal's sword in hand, long time the manxome foe he sought. So rested he by the Tumtum tree, and stood awhile in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the Vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, O beamish boy! O frabjous day, Callooh, Callay! He chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mumeraths outgrabe. Ugh. Ugh. My mouth is not meant to make those sounds. Ugh. More water. Yeah, I like that one too. Carol wrote some real funky stuff. He wrote this whole epic poem about not Alice in Wonderland, but sort of tangential to it, called the Hunting of the Snark. And it's I had an old copy of it that was just beautifully illustrated in pen and ink drawings. And I got that read to me, oh god, almost every night for like a few months, I think, as a kid. Which explains a lot about why I'm so fucked up. Because that book is weird. It's all about boojums and beavers and bakers and bankers and bathtubs and many strange things. But I like it, I do. If I could find a copy, I would definitely read it here. But there are so many characters, I don't think I could do all the voices. And yes, it's absolutely necessary that you do the voices. Oh man, I should get a ton of people together and just do a dramatic reading of it. That would be fun. Alright, now we're getting into the sonnets that I picked up. And this first one is by Edgar Allan Poe, better known for his Raven and his horror stories, but he did write some other things as well, and one of them was the Sonnet to Science. Science, true daughter of old time thou art, who alterest all things with thy peering eyes, why preyest thou thus on the poet's heart, vulture, whose wings are dull realities? How should he love thee, or how deem thee wise, who wouldst not leave him in his wandering to seek for treasure in the jewelled skies, albeit he soared with an undaunted wing? Hast thou not dragged Diana from her car, and driven the Hamadryad from the wood to seek shelter in some happier star? Hast thou not torn the Naiad from her flood, the elfin from green grass, and from me the summer dream beneath the tamarind tree? feel like that could resolve better. But I think that has more to do with how I read it than how he wrote it. But who knows, maybe he made a mistake. Maybe it's not me. Maybe I'm not the problem. All right. Everything from here on is just Shakespeare. It's just Shakespeare. It was so easy to find. It's everywhere. And it's just sonnet after sonnet. So we're going to go ahead and run through them. And some of them are familiar and some of them, not so much. Oh, this is the SparkNotes version. I could read the modern text instead of the poem. That would be really weird. I'm not going to do that. Sonnet 147. My love is a fever, longing still for that which nurseth the disease, feeding on that which doth preserve the ill, the uncertain sickly appetite to please. My reason, the physician to my love, angry that his prescriptions are not kept, hath left me, and I desperate now approve, desire is death which physic did accept. Past cure I am, now reason is past care, and frantic mad with evermore unrest, my thoughts and my discord as madmen's are, at random from the truth vainly expressed, for I have sworn thee fair and thought thee bright, who art black as hell and dark as night. Damn, Shakespeare goes hard. I'm so happy with the rhythm of them, though. Like, even if you try to break it, it comes back to bite you. And just sort of draws you back into it again. That makes me very happy. That's some good writing. Here's sonnet number 19. Devouring time, blunt thou the lion's paws, and make the earth devour her own sweet brood. Pluck the keen teeth from the fierce tiger's jaws, and burn the long-lived phoenix in her blood. Make glad and sorry seasons as thou fleets, and do whate'er thou wilt, swift-footed time, to the wide world and all her fading sweets. But I forbid thee one more heinous crime. O carve not with the hours my love's fair brow, nor draw no lines there with thy antique pen. Him in thy course untainted do allow for beauty's pattern to succeeding men. Yet do thy worst, old time, despite thy wrong. My love shall in my verse ever live young. Oh God. This is like the most I've talked out loud all week. Sonnet 64. When I have seen by time's fell hand defaced the rich proud cost of outworn buried age, when sometime lofty towers I see down raced, and brass eternal slave to mortal rage. When I have seen the hungry ocean gain advantage on the kingdom of the shore, and the firm soil win the watery main, increase store with loss, and loss with store, when I have seen such interchange of state, or state itself confounded to decay, ruin hath taught me thus to ruminate, that time will come and take my love away. This thought is as a death which cannot choose, but weep to have that which it fears to lose. You're a moody son of a bitch, aren't you? All right. Here's our last sonnet. It's Sonnet 99. Oh man! I should have read Sonnet 69. Oh well. Too late now. Sonnet 99. The forward violet thus I chide, sweet thief, whence didst thou steal thy sweet that smells, if not from my love's breath? The purple pride which on thy soft cheek for complexion dwells, in my love's veins thou hast too grossly dyed. The lily I condemned for thy hand, and buds of marjoram have stolen thy hair. The roses fearfully on thorns did stand, one blushing shame, another white despair. A third, nor red nor white, has stolen both, and to his robbery has annexed thy breath. But for his theft and pride all his growth, a vengeful canker ate him up to death. More flowers I noted, yet I none could see, but sweet or colour it had stolen from thee. This video is going to need a lot of editing. Maybe I can just chop it into pieces. Upload all the readings separately. We'll see. We're going to read something by Maya Angelou, because I like her, and this is my stream and no one can stop me. Not that anyone should stop you if you read Maya Angelou, that would be bizarre. Caged Bird. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through the bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade wind soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn-bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare's scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. And the caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. I like that break in rhyme and rhythm. That makes me actually really happy. Oh my god, we got a second person. It's a straight up party in here. Hello, new person. I have... how many? 2. I have 2 poems left. I can go find more. Or you can request some. I don't mind. You might have to repeat them though, because I have one monitor, and that monitor is a laptop. And I am monitoring the chat via my phone. And I have to switch over from the phone into Chrome. It is a disaster. I think I woke someone up. I hope I didn't wake someone up. I totally did wake somebody up. Alright. Let's wrap up reading these then. And let people sleep. The last two poems here are by Pablo Neruda, and I do not have them in the original Spanish because I am not confident in my ability to do them justice in Spanish. I'm not sure the English translation does them justice either, to be honest, but we're going to try. And the first one is, I do not love you except because I love you. I do not love you except because I love you. I go from loving to not loving you, from waiting to not waiting for you. My heart moves from cold to fire. I love you only because it's you, the one I love. I hate you deeply, and hating you bend to you, and the measure of my changing love for you is that I do not see you but love you blindly. Maybe January light will consume my heart with its cruel ray, stealing my key to true calm. In this part of the story, I am the one who dies, the only one, and I will die of love, because I love you, because I love you, love in fire and blood. That's some good shit. Let's see. Alright, let's take a drink. And then I'll read the last one I have prepped. And if no one tells me to stop, I can go look for more. Because it's not like there's a lack of poetry in the world. I could do something terrible. I could read my own poems. They're awful, but I have so many. Alright. Again, Pablo Neruda. Your laughter. Take bread away from me if you wish. Take air away, but do not take from me your laughter. Do not take away the rose, that lance flower that you pluck, the water that suddenly bursts forth in joy, the sudden wave of silver born in you. My struggle is harsh, and I come back with eyes tired at times from having seen the unchanging earth, but when your laughter enters, it rises to the sky, seeking me, and it opens for me all the doors of life. My love, in the darkest hour your laughter opens, and if suddenly you see my blood staining the stones of the street, laugh, because your laughter will be for my hands like a fresh sword. Next to the sea in autumn your laughter must raise its foamy cascade, and in the spring, love, I want your laughter, like the flower I was waiting for, the blue flower, the rose of my echoing country. Laugh at the night, at the day, at the moon. Laugh at the twisted streets of the island. Laugh at this clumsy boy who loves you. But when I open my eyes and close them, when my steps go, when my steps return, deny me bread, air, light, spring, but never your laughter, for I would die. I definitely like that one too. Okay, cool. I now know that I like Dickinson and Neruda. I'm learning so many new things today. I am at the end of the poems I had prepped. So our options are that I stop here for the evening, or in my case, the night, or I go ahead and look for more, or the two of you that are here request some. I'm sure we could find a few. Okay, no, I'm glad you could come at all. Go eat. Go get your food in this, the time of the plague. Be safe.